Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we're looking at something very old and now very rare. We are looking at the 1968 release by World Distributors from their series of TV annuals. And this particular one we're looking at today is of the Doctor Who annual, which was printed in 1968 for the upcoming 1969 year. And this is the front cover, and it says the Doctor Who annual as portrayed or as played by Patrick Troughton, fascinating stories of the unknown based on the famous television series by arrangement with BBC TV. Now, the Patrick Troughton era produced three different Doctor Who annuals. This was the one this is the middle one, the second one, and it's probably the rarest of the Troughton annuals. It's probably the second rarest one overall. I think the rarest one is the John Pertwee Pink annual, and this is the second rarest of all the annuals. Okay, so that's the front cover. Let's flip it over and see what we got on the back. So on the back, not a lot really. It's all black, and you've got artwork images of a Cyberman either side of a Yeti. Okay, so that's the front and back covers. I think what we're going to do now is let's open it up and have a look at the contents inside. Okay, so I've opened the annual and this is what we've got. So the very first page, as I've opened the front cover, gives you an artwork image of Troughton with his recorder and a load of monsters in the background. Interesting, at the bottom corner of the page here, the original purchase price, which was 12 shillings and sixpence back in 1968. Okay, and there has been a name wrote on this. It's Stephen Roscoe by the looks of it. But we're onto the contents page, and it says stories, Lords of the Galaxy, Follow the Phantoms, Masterminds of Space, The Celestial Toy Shop, Valley of Dragons, Planet from Nowhere, Happy as Queeg, World of Ice, The Microtron Men, Death to, what was that, Muffle? Strip Stories, Freedom by Fire, Atoms Infinite, and Features and Games, Space Quiz, Star Facts, About the Moon, The Unknown World Under the Sea, Space Dictionary, Return from Hades, Space Special, Our Solar System, Space Panorama, Doctor Who's Planet Quiz, Men in Space, Listen to the Stars, Mysteries of Space, Looking Back, and Pioneers of Flight. And it's copyright 1968 by British Broadcasting Company, all rights reserved throughout the world. Published in Great Britain by World Distributors, Manchester Limited. And printed in England by Gerald and Sons Limited, Norwich. Okay, and there's the first page. So you've got a nice little image there of Patrick Troughton as Doctor Who, and also the TARDIS. And the first page says the Doctor Who annual. And then you've got an image of the Yeti and the Cyberman. Okay, so as we start the book, the first story is called Lords of the Galaxy, and it is a full story with colour illustrations, which features the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. And yeah, nice big illustrations these are in these old books. And then we come on to the Space Quiz, which is a larger planet in the solar system. Where will you find the Sea of Dreams and the Sea of Moscow? Which is the hotter star, a red one or a blue one? How far is the sun from Earth, and so on. So loads of questions, and all the answers are at the bottom. And we move on to the second story, which is Follow the Phantoms. Again, it's a full story featuring the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. Again, it's all artwork, full colour artwork. The corner of the page has been torn away on that page there. Then we come into Star Facts, and for example, it says the first object from the Earth to reach another planet was the USSR's Venus 3, weighing 960 kilograms or 2,116 pounds, which was launched on 16th of November 1965 and impacted on Venus at 6:56 a.m. GMT time on the 1st of March 1966. And all information about the moon. I think we just had the moon landing at this time, or we're about to have the moon landing. Masterminds of Space, which is the next full story. And this is a full story with monocolour images, which features the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. And monocolour is black and white with one colour on it. So in these one's instance of blue. The previous one was a greeny colour. The Unknown World Under the Sea. That's all information of below the ocean. And then we come on to the very first comic strip story, which is called Freedom by Fire, which again features the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. And it is a monocolour comic strip story, which is either black and white and blue, or black and white and I think that's probably a green. And then we come on to another full story, which is called the Celestial Toy Shop, which is a full story, again with colour illustrations, featuring, of course, the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. And Space Dictionary. So basically, asteroid is a very small planet, possibly circling a larger one. Aurora, the rosy tint in the sky before the sun rises, and so on. So all basically information on space. And then we come to the game, and all you need to play this game is some buttons and a dice. Now this one has had some drawing around it. I don't understand why anyone would draw on a game, but there we are. It has got some ink marks all over it, but you know, it is what it is. But it's not going to interrupt the game. You've got all the details on how to play it's the Journey from Hades, and how to play. There's 4 different boards for you to play in that game. Okay, then we move on to Space Special. And it's a 10-question quiz on early space achievements. So you've got all the 10 questions there, and the answers are at the very bottom there. And we're back on to the next story, which is Valley of Dragons. Again, it is a full story with colour illustrations with the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. Incidentally, all the stories in these books were wrote specifically for these annuals. So they're original stories, if you like. And then we come on to our solar system, and that's all information on the actual solar system, which features Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. And then we come on to another story, which is Planet from Nowhere, which again is another full original story with colour illustrations with the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. And then another story, Happy as Queeg, which is again another full story with colour illustrations. Someone's name has been wrote on that page there again. And there's some scribbling there as well. But yeah, another full story with colour illustrations with Jamie, Victoria and the Doctor. And Space Panorama, and that gives you information on space, obviously. And then we come to the second comic strip story, which is called Atomic Infinite. And there's the Jamie, Victoria and the Doctor in the TARDIS. And it's a monocolour comic strip story again. It's had a corner of page cut out there. Doesn't go down well, but anyway, I don't think it's going to interrupt the story too much. But otherwise, it's obviously in monocolour blue and the green colour again. Doctor Who's Planet Quiz, and there's the questions there and the answers there. Someone has wrote some numbers down the side there. I don't quite understand why, but there we are. And then we go on to the next story, which is World of Ice, which is a full story again, original story, featuring the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria, and it's in monocolour, with monocolour images, I should say. Men in Space, obviously information on the first manned space flight and so on. And then we got Listening to the Stars, which is the telescopes and the sound, and people listening to see if we can find any extraterrestrial people. And then the Mysteries of Space, which is the crossword, and it has been started, not very well by the looks of things, but there's all the questions there, and it does have the answers at the bottom of the page. And then we're on to another story, which might be the last one, which is the Microtron Men, which is a full story with colour illustrations, colour artwork illustrations, featuring the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. Not quite the last story, but I think this one is looking back. It says a glimpse of our ancestors as they started, as they developed. And then I'm sure this is the final one, which is Death to Muffle. And again, it's a full original story with colour illustrations featuring the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria. And then we're onto the inside of the front cover, and it's got Pioneers of Flight. It gives you all information on how man has conquered the sky and space. Okay, and there's some graffiti that's been done inside this book as well, but on the back page. But there we are. For a book that's 58 years old, 57 years old, or 56 years old, I should say, it's hardly surprising that there's some damage to it, or some writing or markings in it. But you know, we can't expect a lot from something that's so old. And remember, these annuals were for children, so they did fill in the quizzes and draw in certain annuals. Some annuals were there for you to colour anyway, but yeah, some of the comic strip annuals it gave you the ability to colour in the pictures if you wanted to. Anyway, how well did these annuals do? Well, of course, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s, annuals were a very big thing, because it was like having video recorders or video cassettes or tapes or DVDs that you'd never seen before. So these are all stories that were wrote specifically for these annuals. So they're original stories with original artwork, and they were produced to keep you enthralled by your favourite TV show. So obviously there's no internet, so no streaming, no VHS recorders, no DVD players, so you couldn't watch your programs when you liked. Unlike now, when you want to see one, you just stream it. But you couldn't do that back in the day. Obviously the technology wasn't there. So annuals was a big thing. They were like our video recorders or our streaming as we got now, so we could pick it up and read our stories whenever we wanted to. And they were all produced late in the year, around about September, October, November time, for the Christmas period, because they were all geared for the kids. Annuals were always seemed to be geared for Christmas, and that they were all produced at that point. And every kid woke up on Christmas morning with annuals, at least one or two, in their Christmas stockings or their sacks on Christmas morning for whatever TV show they went into. Obviously, the Doctor Who annuals were probably one of the most popular because it was such a popular television series. And of course, now we're talking 56 years on, since this annual was made. And as I said to you at the start, this is one of the rarest Doctor Who annuals that was ever made. I don't know if that's because of the quantities, whether there was a limited run on them, but I just can tell you that these are the rarest ones. Certainly for the first two Doctors, this is the rarest. Then you've got the pink one for the Pertwee era, which is the third Doctor, which is the rarest annual overall. And then it runs second to that one. The rest of them, all the other annuals, are fairly easy to pick up, and they all appear on the platforms, or we've got plenty of them, of all the other annuals in stock. This one, we only seem to get them ones or twos at a time, because this one very rarely comes up on the platforms, and when it does, it's stupid money. And again, on platforms, be a little bit careful of the quality, because some person says it's very good condition and someone else might consider it to be only acceptable condition. So you need to just be a little bit vigilant of what you're actually buying. Okay, so, or you can buy one from Midas Touch Toys Games Collectibles. And we do have this one available, and one other one. and they are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Doctor Who items and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive that you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something oldie you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories. Well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this book with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next time.